Hello everyone, Ronan here, and I finally reached 60 with my Black Mage. Now I was going to go straight into putting a rotation video, but I found that as soon as I hit 60, everything sort of changed, so I have to spend a little bit more time with the rotation. It's more complicated than it used to be. I used to like Black Mage as my alt class, so that if somebody needed DPS, it was kind of an easy class to play, because it did not really have a complicated rotation. So I'm going to start off with the new skills with Black Mage, and one thing I wanted to note is that Flare, I think by nerfing Flare the way they did, they should have changed the animation and changed the skill name. One of the Black Mages in our static mentioned that it should be called Chain Lightning instead, because of how it now reacts, because it'll do the full damage of 260 potency, unbuff with the Astral Fires on the main target, and then 10% less for the next target, the third target 20% less, 30 for the fourth, 40 for the fifth, and then 50% for all the rest, which is pretty much like any other game's Chain Lightning. At level 52 you will get Ley Lines. So Ley Lines will put an AoE effect on the ground, and it will buff your cast speeds. It says attack speed here, but I mean, I should test it out if it's going to do melee, by 15%. So your skills will cast 15% faster. So right now, I don't have really great gear, but 205 is for a fire, which is pretty fast. I don't know if I'll have time to show off anything else, but 242. So that's a pretty decent change. I mean, your spells are going to go out that much faster. It's on a 90-second cooldown, and it lasts for 30 seconds, which is pretty nice. If you move out of your Ley Lines, it will remain on the ground. You will lose your buff, but then you can move back in to get your buff again, which is nice because there are a lot of movement-intensive fights out there. The next you'll get is Sharp Cast. Sharp Cast will make your next Scathe, Fire, or Thunder spell proc, guaranteed. So if I use Sharp Cast on a Fire 1, then it'll automatically guaranteed proc for a Fire Starter proc. It's going to come in handy when you start trying to do Fire 4. Sharp Cast is on a 60-second cooldown and it lasts for 10 seconds. So when you use it, you don't have to use your Fire 2 or your Thunder right away, but just be ready to use it in the next 2 to max 3 skill rotation. Then you have Enochian. Now Enochian, when I got it, it didn't really stand out to me because I was like 5% damage, that's not a big deal. But then I also remembered that I did not have Blizzard 4 or Fire 4 yet. It lasts 30 seconds, which is nice. And some of the things I did not really see when I was leveling is that each time Enochian is overwritten, the duration is refreshed, but then the maximum amount of time is reduced by 5 seconds. Now at 56, I did not know what that meant, and I just went around like it was just a 5% spell increase. Enochian, basically at 60, I've noticed that you almost want Enochian up 100% of the time, which with movement is going to be near impossible, but I think that skilled Black Mages will shine by using Enochian properly. Blizzard 4. Blizzard 4 deals 280 potency and can only be used under the effect of both Enochian and Umbral Ice. Now this, and it doesn't say in your tooltips here. Okay, yes it does. Additional effect, Enochian. So it will refresh your Enochian stacks. But like in Enochian it says, every time it's overwritten, so refreshed, it will reduce its max duration by 5. So the first Enochian is going to be 30 seconds. So you have 30 seconds to cast your Fire 4 and Blizzard. Now as you're going to go closer to the timer, you want to refresh that stack. So you, as long as you're in Umbral Ice, doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 3, you can cast Blizzard 4. Now you cast Blizzard 4, and it will refresh Enochian. Now it has 25 seconds. to me, it looks like the Black Mage rotation is going to revolve around maintaining Enochian, while at the same time maintaining a balance between Astral Fire and Umbral Ice stacks. If your Blizzard 4 spell does not finish casting before Enochian buff runs out, then the spell will not cast. Now you're at 20 seconds. Fire 4 and Blizzard 4 will not increase your Astral or Umbral stacks. Now we're going to have 15 seconds, and even if I spam it, which you can't really do without casting at least a Blizzard 1 in between, because you have to keep your Umbral stacks. Now 10 seconds, which I don't think is going to be a viable way to just keep it up, because even in 10 seconds it was kind of tight, although I don't know my rotation really well. And see here, I casted, it went away, now I just interrupted my cast. Alright, now we have at 60 you get Fire 4. So I should say that spamming Blizzard 4 is definitely not the way to go. You want to use it only once in a rotation and move on. The skill now that you're going to want to spam, which used to be Fire, you're going to want to spam Fire 4 as much as you can while keeping your Astral Fire up and Enochian up. Now, I don't have the rotation perfectly done yet, or the opener. I'll work on that after this video, but the gist of it is that you would start your Fire, put your Ley Lines, start your Sharp Cast, so that you have your, so that you have your Fire Starter proc, and then just watch your timer and make sure you can cast enough, and then quickly use your Fire Starter, and you can cast another 1 or 2 Fire 4s. You can even convert. Now you have to refresh your stacks. I've tried to use, see I managed to do it there, a Fire 1 to refresh the stacks, but I don't always get it in time. So I have to practice with my timing. Fire 3, Fire 4. And you can probably cast it once or twice. I'm not sure yet if Swift Cast is going to be what's going to be useful, or the best method. So I do it twice. Try to get a Blizzard 3 in there. I don't know if I'll be able to reset. I didn't have enough MP to cast the Blizzard 4 on that one to refresh my stacks. But Enochian was pretty much already ready to go again. Now, if you use Enochian and you still had, let's say, actually, let me show this. So I'll pop Enochian. So I'm just gonna do some just damage to let it go down a bit, just so that some people don't make that mistake like I was making earlier. Just fool around a bit. Alright, so Blizzard 3. Refresh my stack. Now I still have 33 seconds to go, so I can do whatever I want. Fire Force, Fire Stack. Just gonna wait for that to go down a bit. Okay, Blizzard. Refresh it, hopefully. So Enochian is refreshed. Now I only have 4 seconds to go, so I can show this now. If you use Enochian again, and you still have Enochian up, it counts just like if you would have used Blizzard. I have 15 seconds on this cast. So make sure that if you're going to reuse Enochian, that you don't have Enochian already up, because it won't refresh it to its full 30 seconds. It's only going to refresh it to the max that you are at that time. Now, the nice thing is that by doing this, you'll pretty much be able to keep Enochian up the whole time, which will give you that 5% increase and the ability to use very strong spells. Sorry for the change of audio quality right now. I made a mistake with my Astral Fire commentary. Astral Fire will add 50% more damage for the first stack, 75% more damage for the second stat, and a total of 87.5% with 3 stacks. which brings Fire 4 to a total of 525 potency per cast. I posted a link in the description for the Final Fantasy wiki, which is where I got my data from, since the one I had previously was wrong. Hopefully this has helped you. I spent a bit of time yesterday trying to do a rotation. I'll come up with a good one. I don't main Black Mage in a raid setting, so I won't be able to give you tips on raid setting, but I can definitely come up with a rotation showing on the dummy if you don't have to move much. Now if you have to move a lot, then it's going to definitely separate the good Black Mages from the bad Black Mages. Because no matter how good you are on a training dummy, when you get into a fight setting, learning the fight is going to be a huge advantage, and being able to adapt to some RNG, because you won't always get targeted for a skill, but you have to be ready for it. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to post them below, and I'll start working on my rotation video right now and have it up hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.